Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Companion podcast. It's just me, so we're just gonna sit here and talk some wrestling. And yeah, if you're interested in listening or watching, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your love and support. I think what we got to talk about first before we get too far ahead is we got to get into the big weekend we had. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. We had Saturday night's main event. Guys, it was not very good. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, it was If I didn't want to not pay the money to watch All In, guys, I would have watched All In. I know a lot of people did. I probably would have too. I watch AEW, but I don't want to pay $50. I'm sorry. I don't care if it is the biggest show of the year. I don't want to pay $50. Anyways, we'll just get into it. We had Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. This was a spectacle. This was to help build this tag team match that we're doing at SummerSlam. And I get it, but I don't know. I mean, this is Drew Mac. This is Randy Orton. What are we doing here? Dude, you're making me so mad. Sorry, that was my cat. I don't know, man. When you get two, main eventers like this, you get two top tier superstars like this. I don't know, man. I don't want them to play sideshow for a celebrity. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I am not here to bash Jelly Roll or really any of that stuff. Like, I get it. And I'm cool with celebrities being in it as long as your name isn't Travis Scott. And I like Travis Scott. But how dare you, Travis? Anyways, I'm not against it. You're using up main eventers, and now this SummerSlam is going to feel so stretched because you have 2 nights. This is the first time they've ever done it. They're not going to be used to it. So it's going to be stretched probably regardless because they've never done it before. It's a new format. It's a new thing. They got to get used to doing 2 nights of SummerSlam. But why are you shooting yourself in the foot? Why are you taking 3 certified main eventers out of the equation for 1 match? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. But it is what it is. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, they're going back and forth. We get a draping DDT set up for the RKO. Logan distracts Randy Orton. And then he turns around. Claymore out of nowhere. 2 count. Foot on the rope. And then we get Jelly Roll and Logan Paul arguing with each other. And then Drew McIntyre gets distracted by that and is, yelling at Jelly Roll. He turns around, RKO. And, that's that. Quit it. Sorry, my cats are being so freaking annoying right now. I apologize. But anyways, that was the story of that match. And then afterwards, Logan Paul jumps on Randy Orton, is beating him up. Jelly Roll comes in, throws Logan off, and Logan, being a heel, kind of weasels his way out. Well, actually, he throws him off. They kind of, he hits him. He hits Logan with like a forearm, and then Logan rolls out, and then he goes to check on Randy Orton while he's been over checking on Randy Orton. Claymore kick. Dude. Hey, I gotta give Jelly Roll props for eating a Claymore. But yeah, that was that match. We're gonna get that tag team match at SummerSlam. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But yeah, that's that, guys. And then we move on to the United States Championship between Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. This was like thrown in last minute, and it felt very much that way. I don't think Jimmy Uso and Solo are the 2 people that need to be working with each other right now. I'm sorry, but it's just the way it is. I am an advocate for Big Jim. I am an advocate. Dude, I wanted Jimmy Uso in the U.S. title picture at Mania, but it didn't happen. I get it. It was Jacob's time. It is what it is. But I'm a big advocate for Jimmy Uso, but this was not it. In this Temu Bloodline 3.0 kind of deal, I like it for Solo because Solo is goofy, and so is, his faction being goofy as well just kind of makes sense. But, yeah, guys, this was it was a tush push. Talatonga, because he's tall. Literally, while the ref was, turned away and was counting, and Solo got the cover, and he, pushed his butt to give him more elevation so he could steal the win. But, yeah. I like the work Solo's doing, but the matches need to improve. See, when he was working with Cody and everything, around this time last year and everything, everybody was giving him crap, and I get it. The SummerSlam match wasn't, an amazing match. Definitely shouldn't have been main event. It was only really main event because of Cody Rhodes. I'm just saying. And the return of Roman Reigns. But after that, they had, a really good cage match. So there was improvement. You were seeing Solo not only on the mic and personality-wise, but even in-ring was improving. And it feels like he has still improved everywhere but in-ring. And, buddy, you got this. I need you to do that for me. Pretty please. From there, we move on to one of the biggest talking points of Saturday night's main event, and that is the unfortunate injury of Seth freaking Rollins. Him and LA Knight had a match, kind of lackluster. I get it. They couldn't get too far into it before, the injury happened. It was he did a senton, he did a springboard senton in, landed on LA Knight, and then he kind of ran, hit the ropes to do a springboard moonsault. LA Knight moved out of the way, so he landed on his feet. And when he landed on his feet, his knee buckled. And, I guess he blew out his knee, tore something. I'm not exactly sure. They haven't really specified what exactly the injury was. Guys, I don't think this is a work. I think this is as legitimate as it gets. It's very unfortunate because Seth Rollins has had a long history with injuries like this. And it's very unfortunate because he's awesome. And he was starting to really cook. And it's just a shame because he had his hand in so many different things, so many different cookie jars. I mean, shoot, I had him cashing in on Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. But then we got Punk versus Gunther. And now I don't know. Now I know nothing. Because he's got generational pettiness and heat towards and beef towards CM Punk, but then I really liked what they were kind of teasing with Cody Rhodes. So I don't know. It really sucks. It is a good opportunity for the boys, the Braun and Braun, to get that push. Especially, it's just coming earlier, especially with him being gone. Braun Breaker's kind of like that guy now, and we want it. I just hope it's not too early for him. I don't think it is. I think he's talented enough where he could do it. But we will see. Time will tell. Seth Rollins, get better, buddy. I love you. You are one of my favorite wrestlers. And I just hope a speedy recovery and hope to see you back soon, man. Then we go into the main event of Saturday night's main event. The World Heavyweight Championship between Gunther and Goldberg. Guys, this was... I won't say this was a 5-star, classic. I won't even say this was a 4-star classic. But, guys, this wasn't bad. I've seen a lot worse. Goldberg looked old. Goldberg looked slow. But I think Gunther got the most out of him that you're ever going to see from Goldberg. I think Gunther got a lot out of him. I think Gunther made as good of a match as it gets. There were some high spots of, Goldberg being Goldberg that really kind of tapped into that nostalgic feel. And so I was down with that. Like, the spear through the barricade, or shoot, when he hit him with a spear and then picked him up for a jackhammer. Guys, I didn't think Old Man Goldberg could get somebody like Gunther up for that jackhammer, but he did. And oh my God. And I'm sorry, but in that moment when he picked him up for that jackhammer and landed it, there was a sliver. Like, I didn't think so, but there was just a sliver of me being like, oh shit, is Goldberg about to win this? Oh shit. Are we about to get a new World Heavyweight Champion? But of course we didn't end up. Shout out to Charles for being an MVP first at Night of Champions, getting shoulder tackled and just blasted by John Cena, and then getting speared by Goldberg. I heard Charles Robinson is hurt. If that is true, I hope a speedy recovery for him as well. But yeah, that was Saturday night's main event. Goldberg got his retirement speech cut off. Listen, guys, I want to feel for Goldberg because they definitely could have maneuvered things around and made it not that way. But at the same time, Goldberg, this was national television. This wasn't a normal PLE. Okay, a PLE, they would have let that thing run, and they wouldn't have cared because it's your speech. They would have let it roll on. This is NBC, man. NBC don't care. NBC got something at 10 o'clock. You got to be gone by 10 o'clock. And that's just what that was. And it sucks to suck, but that's just how it was, man. Listen. Then we move on to a show that was 20 times better. Actually, before I move on, I want to say shout out to NXT and Great American Bash. Had a fun show. A lot of fun. I think the match of the night for that card was definitely the Ethan Page and Ricky Saints Falls Count Anywhere match. That was crazy. He tried to kill Ricky Saints. But anyways, we move on to the highlight of the weekend, and that was Evolution. Guys, these ladies, listen, if you are not a fan of women's wrestling, what are you doing? Because women's pro wrestling is where it is at. Because these ladies put on a card for the ages, my man. So I just got to start at the beginning. Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Bayley in a triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Dude, this match was great. I told you guys from the very beginning, this was one of the 3 matches on this card that you needed to see, and I was proven correct. Because this was a great match with great back and forth with spots like, oh, are they about to win? Oh, ah. And I loved how they ended it with the back and forth, and then Lyra gets countered into Bayley's finishing move, and then Bayley's going for the pin, and then Becky just comes out of nowhere and rolls her up 1, 2, 3, and then sneaks out and takes the belt, and because she knew she got a sneaky win. She got a sneaky win, but it didn't matter because she won. She retained her belt, and that's all that mattered, and it was great, and I loved it. Very shocked that they're doing Becky versus Lyra again. I'm not complaining. I do not want to see it here and say I'm complaining because they put on great matches. I will say the promos, Lyra's still struggling, and I don't know what to tell her. To be completely honest, I really thought it was going to be Bayley versus Becky at SummerSlam, but it is what it is. We are here, and it's going to be Lyra, Becky for the Women's Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But yeah. Then we move on to, I think, a pretty solid match. I was actually happily surprised. I didn't have the highest expectations for this match. I was just going into this match just, feel good. And that's JC Jane versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. Guys, before I go too far, I have to tell you, JC Jane. I know. I never thought I would say it, but dude, she made me a believer in this match. This was her best match I've ever seen from her. She put in so much work. She proved why the company is believing in her right now. And you know what? I support it. I know we're watching this on the 21st. We're doing this on the 21st. Watching. We're recording this on the 21st. I know she is now the double champ. She is now the TNA Knockouts champion as well. Dude. I know. I never thought I'd be the one to say it, but I think it's time to put some respect on JC Jane's name, guys. Then we had Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace, I'm very high on Jordynne Grace. I know it's kind of been weird that she's been almost a professional loser when it comes to the NXT Women's Championship. But hey, I love a good underdog story. I thought the same thing, so I thought this was the moment. But with the heel turn of Blake Monroe, I get it. She's going to be that babyface. She's going to be what DIY was at one point for tag team, which was they were losers. They could never win the big one, They were until they did. And I think that's what Jordynne Grace is going to be. I think she's going to be like, she was coming in scouted as like top tier. She was supposed to be this and that. And she's struggling. And that's okay. And she's going to struggle and she's going to struggle. And people are going to get so close to giving up. And then she's going to get it. And it's going to make people lose their mind. And I love it. All right. From there, we move on to the second match. I told you, out of the three, I told you guys to watch. If you guys watch this, thank me later. Because, my God, it was the Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. It was the Judgment Days, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. It was Zaria, and Sol Ruca. It was the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then it was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Guys, this match banged. I was so skeptical, especially when I saw that they made it like my least favorite tag team rules where like only 2 people are in at a time and then anybody can tag them. I hate those rules. Just put fucking 4 people in and you can only be tagged by your partner. It makes it a jumbled mess and I hate it. But I can't lie. I enjoyed this match. As soon as I got past that, dude, this match ruled. This match was awesome. Shout out to Sol Ruca, man. Sol Ruca put her body on the line. In-ring wise, she was the MVP. I mean, she was taking the best bumps. She was giving the best bumps. Like, dude, she was awesome. That soul snatcher to Charlotte Flair, dude. And then Sol Ruca being speared by Zaria, dude, loved it. But in the end, Big Mammy cool. Raquel Rodriguez picks up the win in such a nonchalant, cool fashion. Dude, I loved it. The one-handed Tejana Bomb with the nonchalant look of, like, while she's pinning her and still chewing gum the whole time. Just like a G, man. That's Big Mammy cool. Put some respect on the Judgment Day's name. They are still your women's tag team champions. And they got a date with Charlotte and Alexa at SummerSlam. I'll talk about that a little bit. Then we go in. So I will say, WWE Women's Championship time. Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus. Thank you, Trish. Thank you so much. Because, I'm going to say it, guys. This was Tiffany Stratton's best match since she's been champion. Like, best match since she's been champion. Better than Charlotte Flair. Better than all the matches she's done with Nia. Dude, this match was solid. How old is Trish Stratus? Let me look this up. I gotta look it up right now. I know I'm recording. Trish Stratus. How old are you, girl? Trish Stratus is... Come on. Trish Stratus is... What? 75, which makes you how old? I don't. Yeah, just give me an age. I don't want to do math. 49 years old, guys. Guys, 49 years old, and she gave Tiffany Stratton her best match. Tell me how that's possible. Tell me how that is possible. Because Trish Stratus moves around and looks not like a 49-year-old. I'm sorry, I've never seen a 49-year-old look that good. She was solid. There were some stiff moments in this, and I loved it. I thought Tiffany Stratton looked great. I thought Trish Stratus looked amazing. Thank you, Trish. If this is the last time we see you, which I really hope it's not, because I know you're 49 years old, but girl, you're doing it. If this is the last time, though, thank you. Thank you so much, Trish. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for this. Thank you for this classic you just put up for us. So thank you. Then we had the no holds barred Jade Cargill, Naomi, with special guest referee Bianca Belair. This was pretty standard. I didn't really expect anything crazy out of this, especially since their WrestleMania match was like, okay. I was like, okay, this is going to be about the same match, but they can do weapons now, you know? So, excuse me. But it wasn't bad. I enjoyed parts of it. It was an insane bump at the end that Naomi took the freaking Jaded into a table. That was gnarly. And I'm going to be real, they got me. I had no idea that Naomi was going to come out later. I thought she was too hurt. And then at the same time, in my head, man, I was like, even after this, I was like, oh, this is going to give Jade even more reason. Not Jade, but Naomi even more reason to go after Jade and Tiffany. And I thought she was about to ruin that SummerSlam match or just get that belt before SummerSlam. And then now she has Jade Cargill. But I was wrong. But yeah, the no holds barred match, no, it was okay. Then we move on to the Battle Royale. I enjoyed this Battle Royale. I thought there was some great moments. I thought the MVP of this match, I'm not going to lie, was Lash Legend. And I never thought I'd say that, but Lash Legend showed up and showed out. The Bougie Bully, oh yeah, from the ATL. She showed up in her hometown and she showed out. She looked great. She was picking people up, throwing them. She picked Nia up. And I was like, oh shit. She just picked Nia Jax up. And it was so badass. And I thought she had a great showing. I thought that was great for her. Especially being the last with Stephanie Vaquer. Guys, I'm going to get berated for this. And that's okay. I'm not sold on Stephanie Vaquer. And to be honest, I think a lot of you aren't either. Don't get me wrong. I think there are some out there that are definitely sold on her. And for the right reasons. You know, you've watched her. You've watched her other stuff. So you know how good she is and all of that. And I get that. I'm not going to say you're wrong for that. I'm not even going to say you're wrong for liking her. But guys, I feel like most of this love and this hype that she's getting is because she's hot. It's because she's very pretty. And she has an ass. And she does the devil's kiss. And she has an ass. Because if it wasn't for that, guys, I'm telling you, I think she's on the same level as Julia. Like, we would be talking about her like we talk about Julia. Now, is that a bad thing? No. Not at all. I'm not over here, pulling Julia's name through the mud or anything. No, absolutely not. I think Julia is a great talent, a great addition to the SmackDown roster. I'm so glad she's United States champion. I hope they do something with her. That's how I feel about Julia. Stephanie Vaquer, she puts on great matches. Don't get me wrong. She's had some great matches. But she's also had some okay matches. Like, every time she goes out there, it isn't 5 stars like some people are acting like. You guys get obsessed with the devil's kiss. And y'all need to stop. Y'all need to also stop with giving Charlotte hate because, I'm sorry, Stephanie Vaquer stole that move. If we gonna be like anybody stole any move, Stephanie stole it from her. Okay, because Charlotte Flair's been doing that move since like 2014, if not earlier than that, in NXT when she was just Charlotte. Before it was Charlotte Flair, it was just Charlotte. She still did that move. But she doesn't have an ass like Stephanie Vaquer, so nobody talks about it. That's all I'm saying. Now this sounds like I hate Stephanie. I don't. I don't know. I grow resentful because everybody is just simping over her, and it's everywhere. It's even gotten to the commentary team, dude. And I can't. Because, like, oh my God. Like, it's not even about her talent. You guys are not over here being like, oh my God, she's so talented. You guys are like, oh my God, Stephanie. Oh my God, I wish I was in the Devil's Kiss. Like, come on, guys. Like, I get it. You guys are lonely. I do be lonely sometimes, but I got a ring on it, so I'm good. So I get it, but come on. But anyways, I'm excited for her. I don't know who it's gonna be. It looks like it might be Naomi. If Naomi is still, if Naomi is still champion by the Clash at Paris, of course. But at the same time, I wouldn't be mad if it was like Tiffany. So I don't know. We'll see. Stephanie Vaquer won the Battle Royale, so now she has herself a championship match at Clash at Paris, where I think she's going to lose. Don't crucify me. I'm just saying. I think she will. I think it's too early. Guys, then we move on to the main event. This was match of the year contender. This is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. I'm saying it. Yeah. Like women's matches. Goddamn. They blew it out of the water. This is Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Guys, you had me over here. I was kind of sad. Listen, Io Sky is my number one. She is my favorite women's wrestler of right now. There's not a single person above her. Then right under her is Rhea Bloody Ripley. So I'm living good, man. Because two of my favorite women's wrestlers are going at it. At the best, being the best they possibly can. Putting on the best match of the night. Like I thought they might. And I loved it. It was back and forth. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, which was the power and just grit and determination of Rhea Ripley just pushing forward. I will beat Io Sky. And then it was the craftiness and, quickness of Io Sky being like, oh, you thought you had me? Whoop! I slipped out the back door, hit ya. Kind of deal where I loved it. That was the story of this match. And then Jessica Carr, shout out to Jessica Carr for eating that missile drop kick. Because she ate all of that missile drop kick. And then it started going off the rails, and I loved it. I loved because it seemed like Rhea had just been pushed past her breaking point. She was so done. She was so tired of not being able to beat Io Sky. She had her pin 1, 2, 3, but there was no ref. She was so angry. So I get it. She brought her up at the barricade. They started fighting. I don't think they overstayed their welcome in the outside, like some people do. I thought it was great. They did some stuff. Io Sky did the crazy jump from way the fuck up there like she likes to do because that's Io Sky. She's the genius of the sky. And then, they went back to the ring and, proceeded. And, yeah, it was a 5-star banger. I don't care what Dave Meltzer gives this. This was a 5-star banger. And then the twist at the end, they're both laid out. Spanish Fly, they're both laid out. Then Naomi comes out? Yo. I thought Naomi was too hurt. I thought Naomi was going to go after the WWE Women's Championship. Nope. She came after the Women's World Championship. She comes out, cashes in, clocks Io with the briefcase. shoves Rhea into the post. Split-legged moonsault. 1, 2, 3. We have a new women's world champion, Naomi. And guys, I loved it. Naomi as this heel character is at the top of her game. I don't think there's another heel, like a women's heel, in professional wrestling anywhere that can top Naomi right now. Naomi is on her game. Toni Storm is a babyface, so it can't be her. It's Naomi, man. She's at the top of her game, and I think it was a right decision. I mean, I didn't expect it. It was out of nowhere. I love the refresh it gave the Women's World Championship because it was really tied to Rhea Ripley, and it was just like in that vortex of like feuds with Rhea in those feuds. And I know we still have Rhea, but I don't know. It just feels fresh. And so I loved it. I also love the fact that Rhea Ripley still has never defeated Io Sky. She's still never done that. And so I love that. Because you can continue that story with them two, but now it doesn't have to be for the belt. Now it's purely, I will beat you. We move on. We had Monday Night Raw. We had a gauntlet match for the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Where, hey, dude, at the beginning, I kind of thought Braun Breaker was about to win it. With Gunther coming out, cutting his promo, and then Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker coming out and addressing Gunther, and Paul just going in and saying, hyping up Braun Breaker. I mean, he's giving him the monikers. Oh, Braun Breaker is the next big thing. If you guys don't know, that's Brock Lesnar. Braun Breaker is the big dog. Come on, we all know who the big dog is. Gotta acknowledge the tribal chief. And mentioned the Steiner thing, and then he said, he's gonna break through the glass ceiling, and he's gonna break your ass at SummerSlam. I loved it, dude. Paul Heyman can get me hyped about anything, bro. I love Paul Heyman. And I love Braun Breaker, dude. I am sold on Braun Breaker. And for a split second, I thought that was the way we were going, especially with Seth Rollins being out of the picture. But I am not mad. You will never hear me complain about good things for CM Punk. CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Also, some other matches that are announced. We had the Judgment Day, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair for the Women's Tag Team Championships. That was announced on Friday Night SmackDown. So was Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage. They had an angle where there was a car wreck, and Solo basically blamed Jacob. He accused him, and it was false, and made it seem like it was Jacob, and then they clearly found out that it wasn't. They made a match, and then Solo got arrested. So, yeah. We all know that Jade Cargill has a shot at Tiffany Stratton for the Women's WWE Championship. Same with Cody Rhodes. He's got a shot at John Cena for redemption. We found out on Friday Night SmackDown, though, that we are in for a street fight. Loved what John Cena did. He was like, yeah, I'm not going to SummerSlam. I can't. Sorry to disappoint. I'll give him his rematch at some other time. But I just can't do SummerSlam. I loved it. I was like, hell yeah, what a troll job. Way to get some boos. Yeah, so I'll just kind of sit here and kind of talk about it. I don't know how that match is going to go. I'm hoping it goes better than their WrestleMania match, because, my God, it just wasn't good, and I wanted it to be good so bad, but it just wasn't, and I'm just like, dude. So I'm really, really hoping that they can pull something together. I'll tell you what, though, this is going to be, like, Bloodline rules, dude. This is gonna be everybody and their mom is gonna come out there, both good and bad. Probably Travis Scott, unfortunately. Maybe Dwayne, that bald fraud, might make an appearance. We don't know. Excuse me. All we know is John Cena, Cody Rhodes, street fight. So, then we got Naomi, we got Io, and we got Rhea. So, on Monday Night Raw, if you guys weren't aware, Monday Night Raw happens to open the show. Brand new Women's World Champion, Naomi, comes out. And I loved her heel job. I loved the way she shut down the "You Deserve It" chants because the people wanted to give her praise. I mean, we love Naomi. We have been riding with Naomi, you know. Sadly, we didn't believe in the glow. And she was right. And I loved how she broke it down. She was like, I don't want to hear it. Y'all weren't feeling the glow, but y'all feeling me now. Because that's exactly right. I was preaching months ago that, like, before she turned heel, like, months before she turned heel, I was saying, the glow is dead. The glow is dead. It was like she was dragging a dead horse out there with her. It was gone. And she was still trying to hold on to it. And I knew she needed to drop it. And I'm so glad she did. Because with this heel persona, man, she is the top star. Like heel-wise, female-wise, there's not a bigger heel in professional wrestling than Naomi right now. She is in her bag. She's figured it out, man. And all praise to her, man. She did that herself. And I got to give her props. But she came out, shut down the chants, started cutting a promo. Rhea comes out. Rhea's pissed. Rhea had 2 missions at Evolution. Get her Women's World Championship back. And finally beat Io Sky. She accomplished neither. And she blames Naomi. And then Io Sky comes out. Because, I mean, just as much as Ripley was screwed out, I mean, you can say the same about Io Sky. That was her Women's World Championship walking into Evolution, so I get it. At the same time, it's Money in the Bank. So were you screwed? Kinda not. Kinda how, you know, kinda is what it is. So, anyways. I will say we got Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch at SummerSlam for the Women's Intercontinental Championship again. I will say I'm very surprised by this. So, Bayley and Lyra had a 2 out of 3 falls match. Great match. Should go watch it. And I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised Bayley did not win. Listen, I'm not an advocate of Bayley. I haven't been into Bayley for a long while. I don't think she works great as a babyface. I'm going to be completely honest. She hasn't really worked that crazy good as a babyface since Hugger Bayley. She's a good heel. I like her as a heel. Kind of wish she would do a heel turn, but it is what it is. People like her. I'm not really feeling her. That's always been me, but I will never, ever, ever discredit her work inside that ring. Never. Because she puts in work. And I thought she really did deserve this SummerSlam match with Becky Lynch, especially since she missed WrestleMania. Especially, I get it was for story and everything. But I mean, to a competitor and an athlete and a WWE superstar, especially for one that's been doing it as long as Bayley has, WrestleMania is big to you, man. WrestleMania is important. That's the biggest show. That's the grandest stage. And so to them missing WrestleMania, man, that's not something you take lightly. So I am a little surprised that she didn't get her comeuppance at SummerSlam, but it is what it is. I think that's still down the road because I don't know if Lyra's taking this back. I don't know. This is not a predictions video. I'm not doing this. This is just me shooting shit, talking to you guys. Mano y mano. Or not. Just, me and you. And, yeah. I guess we can talk about it a little bit more. Jelly Roll. Listen, I don't hate Jelly Roll. I actually like Jelly Roll. I was there for Cleveland when he was at SummerSlam. I was into it when he choke slammed, I think it was Austin Theory. Dude, I was into it, man. And then he hit a 5-knuckle shuffler. Dude, I was into it. I'm all about it, dude. But there was just different ways of going around this where you're not burning 3 main eventers in Randy Orton, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre. And yes, I said Logan Paul as a main eventer. Whether you like it or not, he's main event several shows. Cry about it. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Clearly, the company sees him as an asset. But we could have gotten a proper Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre match or something like that. You could have done that. And that would have been a banger, dude. That would have been so good because I feel like they would have really went out for it for SummerSlam rather than what they did at Saturday Night's Main Event. Saturday Night's Main Event just really felt like they were trying to build to this match. And I hate when they just, like, sacrifice a whole match just to build something else. Like, I get it. It happens. But I don't appreciate it when the match quality is just kind of shit because you're just like, it's a throwaway match. It's for this. Like, I get it, but come on, man. I'm very excited to see CM Punk versus Gunther. I've been excited for this match since actually, I think it was after Bash at Berlin when CM Punk beat Drew McIntyre and he said that he was done with Drew McIntyre and he said he wanted to go after gold and he called out Gunther. I was like, ooh, CM Punk versus Gunther? Like, sign me up, bro. I'm all for it. But obviously, in that moment, CM Punk was done with Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre was indeed not done with CM Punk. As we know, they put on that amazing Hell in a Cell match later on at Bad Blood. I don't know what exactly is going to happen. I think Seth Rollins getting hurt puts a real ding in everything. But I don't know, man. Is it time for CM Punk to get some gold in the WWE again? Are we past that point? I don't know. I'll ask you guys. Do you think he's past the point of earning a world championship in WWE again? Do you think if you're going to pull the trigger on him, might as well do it now? What do you guys think? Because I don't know, man. I know he's getting up there in age, but he can still put on great matches, so what's the issue, I think him and Gunther are going to have a great match, and that's that. So, there are some potential matches that haven't been announced that I think will. I think more than likely. So, well, let me get into it. I almost forgot to get too far into it. So, Gauntlet match. Sorry, I know I'm talking about this like way after. I was already talking about Monday Night Raw. But there's the Gauntlet match. Braun Breaker runs through pretty much everybody. Gets to CM Punk. CM Punk, he loses. They start beating up CM Punk. Jey Uso runs out, tries to help CM Punk. He starts getting beat up. They stack them together. They're about to tsunami both of them, which I think is just death right there. And then the Tribal Chief, the OTC1, whatever you want to call him, my Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns is back. And he comes in, hits the Superman punch, and then picks up Bronson Reed for a huge Samoan drop, because that's a big boy. Then hits the Superman punch on Braun Breaker, hits the spear on Bronson Reed, and then he helps Jey Uso up, being like, yeah, love you. And then Punk's just kind of looking at him like, hey, you gonna help me up, bro? And he's just kind of like, and so Punk has to get up himself. I like that. I like that because in Roman's mind, like, yeah, Paul Heyman betrayed me and you, but like, don't think I forgot. We were at war. We were at like odds going into WrestleMania. Like, that's why we had a match. So just because we were both betrayed in that match doesn't mean me and you were square. So I like that. And yeah, I think because of that, and the absence of Seth Rollins, because I think probably what it was going to be was maybe Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. I'm not positive what the exact plans were with Seth being hurt. But I think the likelihood where they're going now is going to be Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus the Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, which I'm not mad about. I think that's going to be a great match if that is what ends up happening. But it's not Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, so, it's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. There's also the likelihood and strong possibility, I give it like 99% chance that it's going to be on SummerSlam, and that's Dirty Dom defending his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. I love this little feud. I'm kind of glad that they did push it off from Night of Champions because they've had more time to build a story behind this. Because before it was just AJ Styles wanted to crack at the Intercontinental Championship, and Dirty Dom was the champ. So now they've had more time to develop an actual story, and I love it. I love that it's just, you can tell Dirty Dom's trying to avoid that match with AJ, and AJ's just kind of sneaking around and watching him. And I love when they were both praying. He's like praying to God that he gets cleared. He's like, please let him be clear. And then Dom's like, please don't clear me. And then AJ's like, don't listen to him. I loved it. That got me up for this match, dude. I think it's going to be a good match. I think AJ works well with a broomstick. So I think Dirty Dom's really coming into his own. And yeah. So, yeah, that was WWE in the world of WWE. We're going to see what happens, tonight on Monday Night Raw. And yeah. I can talk briefly about AEW All In. I know I didn't watch it live, but I definitely watched a great deal of it. Very, very happy for Dustin Rhodes. Shout out to him. He deserved, it blew my mind. He's never won a title in AEW until then, because he's been there since the very beginning, so you would just assume, but no. So, shout out to him. It is heartbreaking for Adam Cole. I hope he's doing okay. I hope he is able to come back. But if not, man, damn. If not, thank you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for just all you've done, man. You're Adam Cole, baby. We love you. Nobody ever wants to see anybody go out like that. So, just sucks. If you guys aren't aware, Adam Cole had to relinquish his TNT Championship because of injury, because of things he's dealing with. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He may never come back. So, then I'm just kind of breezing through some of these. Okada one, which, cool, I guess. I don't know. Okada's okay. Like, he has some banger matches back in the day, but, like, now, he's alright. All he does is say bitch. I mean, it's funny, but still. the match I was really excited to see, and I know it wasn't the main event actually. It was Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné, because I was a big Sasha Banks fan. Um, when she was actually Sasha Banks. And I didn't think this belt collecting of Mercedes Moné was working. I still really don't. And I thought it would have been just such a disservice if you would have had her take out Toni Storm and take that belt. So glad they didn't do that. Toni Storm is still your AEW Women's Champion. Blah. And I couldn't be more happy. Get out of here, dude. Hey! But yeah, guys. That was pretty much it for the weekend. I'm looking very forward to SummerSlam. It's weird. I was at last year's SummerSlam, so, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to not hit as well. We got 2 nights, so we'll see what they do over the 2 nights. But I don't know. I'm just going to be very optimistic. I don't think it's going to be their best card ever. I'm going to be real. I think they're going to have to work out the kinks of having a 2-night SummerSlam, and that's okay. But, yeah. Alright, guys. I think that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to talk about. I've talked about so much wrestling. Yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure you like, subscribe, check out all the videos we have here on our YouTube channel at The Wrestling Companion. Please check out our socials at The Wrestling Companion. We have a Patreon that I am constantly uploading matches. We do an Elimination Chamber review every single week. I'm doing all of them, man, all the way up until the current one, and then I'll do the newest one when Elimination Chamber happens in February or whenever it ends up happening. I'm doing them all, so be sure to check that out. And yeah, guys, I'm out. Doses.